Hi from NAMM 2020. So we're at the Poly booth, and I'm just going to show off the two new pedals. So I've got Bebo here, which is our multi-modulation, kind of modular visual kind of modulation thing. And then we've got Digit. So this is a new firmware for Digit. You can see there's a totally different kind of look than our previous firmware. We've got two different reverbs here. You can see that this is panning with this LFO between these two different reverbs. And it's actually convolution-based reverb. So if we jump in here, we can see we've got lots of different reverb options. You can grab these, you can see AKG springs, EMT plates. You can put your own reverbs because it's convolution. You can load in things easily. You've got real spaces and a lot of digital kind of vintage gear as well. And that's just one of the things. So we've got a lot of different effects in here. So ranging from kind of stuff that's for controlling the control signals, and you got delays, envelope followers, Moog kind of style filters. The foot switches can be used as controls, and you've got pretty EQs. I'll show you a little bit of what an EQ looks like. So we can just drop something in. You've seen we've just dropped in this other EQ here. Now moved it there, and then we can jump into its view. We've got a full parametric EQ there. See, we can change the Q of that. We can drag it down here. You can see the Q changing. We've got shelving filters as well at either end, so we can shelve out the high there. We can also enable and disable individual bands. So yeah, very powerful kind of EQ options. We've got lots of other effects in there, as well as those reverbs, delays. So you can build quite complicated patches with all of these different, you can modulate between things very easily. You've got things like reverse, so you can have a reverse delay or reverse reverbs, and cabinet simulation as well, and some kind of weirder plugins, modules, all in this. 4 inputs and 4 outputs. You see all them back there on TRS, and MIDI in and out as well. And then there's USB on the back for loading new files on and syncing presets in and out. So, and then there's the new pedal. So this one's called Bebo, and you'll see that there's lots of things like choruses. You'll see that here I've got the foot switches set up to control parameters. You'll see there's a little tiny number at the bottom. That's how many modulatable parameters there are. So you'll see you can connect things into each of those parameters to modulate them. So here we've got lots of stuff, freezing, choruses, compressors. These are kind of studio-y sounding compressors, phases, flanges, rotaries, a bunch of those kind of modulation effects. But this is actually only about a quarter of the modules I think that'll be in the final one. You can add a lot more stuff like granular texture generators, that kind of stuff, focusing much more on the kind of Eurorack kind of ideaed, inspired stuff. It doesn't have CV in and out though, but it's got MIDI in and out, so you can kind of integrate it. It's kind of designed to integrate into your normal pedal board rig, but there are people using it for a lot of other stuff as well. So I can show you a little bit of some of the basic sounds. One of the other wacky things is that you can actually switch the firmware between the two pedals. So if you've got one of our pedals already, like the Digit, you can run the Bebo firmware on it if you want, and then you kind of check them out. So we got these kind of like journo style choruses here. So if you want your kind of big 80s chorus sounds. And then I can show you kind of some other patches. Obviously, one of the things that people are really enjoying is our rotary. So it's got a lot of the normal thing. This is the basic rotary. It's got 5 parameters. The detailed one's got I think 26. So it's got like your normal kind of parameters. You can also map any of these parameters. Like they map instantaneously to the knobs. So if we touch something, we can just drag it around. But once we've dragged it, it becomes automatically onto the knobs. One of the knobs is coarse and the other one's fine. So you can see. So we can now see that rotary. Like that, and then see. See that quite a different sound then. We'll turn some of those motors down, we can turn them up again. Obviously you can map that kind of stuff to the switches as well. and then I'll show you a little bit of stuff from Bebo, so you can see how easy it is to switch the different firmwares. So now, to Digit. So we were at the Bebo firmware, and now we've got some nice sounding reverbs. See those big reverbs there? And now I'll show you something bigger and a bit more ambient. So we've got some like giant crazy stuff obviously as well. If you want the kind of big, like this reverse double frip, that's a 30-second delay fed into a reversed 20-second delay and then kind of layered with a bunch of other stuff. Some of the reverse sounds are pretty fun. But I'll show you Swell Stop first. So this is a really big preset. At the moment, some of the bigger presets take a little while to load. You can see this one load in. See, there's a lot going on here. You'll see if I... So you can see I just had that turntable stop effect there. So I let it swell up a lot and then I popped out the turntable. So you can have a lot of delays and reverbs and feed them in different ways, and kind of hopefully it's got a lot of interest for people who want to have some of the Eurorack kind of style environment, but in a pedal-friendly format where you can easily change presets. Thanks for checking out the new one, Bebo and Digit. They're available from lots of places, including us on Reverb, for $3.99 US.